Zadia has not yet mastered the art of an apology,
But she has mastered the art of capping,
also known as
lying.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts.
Today, we're going to be talking about OWN Network's reality based TV series, Ready to Love, Make a Move, season number 1, episode number 3.
I just want to reassure you, none of these ladies are moving. But before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button and that like button so you will know when we upload new content and that we can do better in the algorithm.
I felt like moving away from the screen.
And we thank you and appreciate you for your support. So
Why are you laughing? I'm serious.
here we go. They open up with the argument that Zadia and Charisse was having when, Charisse exposed Zadia's business that she didn't sleep in the house the night of. Rather, she spent time with Cameron and she came back to the house, woke Charisse up to open the door, and Charisse was a little salty about getting up to open the door. Zadia's response to Cherie's discomfort was not where it should be as a grown woman.
Yeah, both of them left that conversation right at the top of the show with a 2. From my vantage point, only one of them was legitimate, and that was, this might be the last time I say it, Sharice's 2 was valid to me.
The ladies have dates this week, and Ashley's first date was with Kristen. And the brother is very tall. Ashley's extra. She started telling him how good looking he was, and as a result, she was sweating. At one point, she said the brother's shine on his head reminded her of a milk dud. I was like, wow.
I'm wondering if he actually took that as a compliment because it didn't sound like one from my vantage point.
They had an engaging conversation. They had a good back and forth. They were flirty with each other, and
And he
Ashley
obviously
was
like
enjoying herself.
Curtin obviously liked what he saw too.
Yes,
So,
yes.
but I tell you what, boy, Ashley has a serious motor on that mouthpiece, don't she? Stop me when I'm lying.
She got something to say.
I know, even if it's a lot of nothing.
Wow.
Mm.
Why are you going in on Ashley like that?
No, I'm just saying she talked. She
She's
talked.
performing, you gotta have words to perform. So there it is.
Yeah, but some of us ain't really that interested in hearing her perform like that.
The next lady who had a date, I believe it was
Sadia.
Zadia.
Mm-hmm.
And Zadia also met up with,
Kirsten.
yes. And Kristen was flirting a little bit. He said he paused in his conversation because he had to drink it all in.
He had to
It,
drink it all in.
yeah, her look. He told her she was beautiful, and at one point he said he got to stop so he can look at her to take it all in.
Oh.
When the food came to the table,
Yeah, it the conversation and the vibe kind of like took a different turn because Kirsten was insistent upon praying over his food before they eat, which is, I think, a good idea. But he insisted on doing so silently, should I say.
silently, yeah.
And Zadia was like, that doesn't work for me. But I guess with some persuasion, that's invariably what they ended up doing, right? But she was still a little, I guess, could I say, miffed by that because she wanted to hear the prayer. They both found out that neither one of them are parents yet, so
Mhm.
they had that in common, and also that both of them, at some point in time, once they're married, want to be parents.
Well, he made some statements that imply that he could have children, but he doesn't know.
I took that to mean he was being a little facetious. He was joking a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But you never
You
know how
never
things
know.
change. He's a complete stranger,
You
so
never know.
he might know something that the rest of us don't.
You don't want another Kurt Franklin situation popping off. That was painful.
Yeah, yeah. She said that she is willing to gift her husband or her future man one child. One child. I'll do. I'll do the brother a solid and give him one. It's the
Is
catchy
that a new
phrase
thing?
now. I don't know, but
A
that,
gift is something you give and then you walk away from.
and not only that.
Am I missing something?
Well, I agree with that, but I also agree that when to correct me if I'm wrong, but uh, that kind of gift is coming through a woman, but from God.
Well, I think perhaps she hasn't thought that all the way through. She keeping it surface level right up through here.
Extremely surface.
So next we see Vern.
Yep. Vern hooks up with, for her blind date, a brother by the name of Walter.
Yes, and I believe Walter is a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the vibe that Vern likes. She said he's a manly man and he looks like he has everything together.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's
she's
in his,
attracted to that.
yeah, he's in his mid 40s, and he just seems like he's well put together.
Yes.
He seems like he's very smooth with his mouthpiece. He seems like he's very friendly, down to earth, and to kind of experience a good date.
And they had an interesting date
In
and she
class.
showed them how to cook etouffee.
Mm-hmm.
And they were flirting with each other because both of them knew how to cook. They were just having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that this man would be a better match for Vern than Jabari
Mm-hmm.
because something about Jabari
Don't rub you the right way.
doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, I think that date that Walter and Vern had turned out to be a really good one.
Yes.
I really do.
Next date up was Charisse.
Mhm.
And Charisse looked lovely in her yellow dress. She looks good in yellow. And it would look like it was a pleasant day. He was telling her why he loved Louisiana, although he has traveled the world.
I thought it was a good date. I don't necessarily, in comparison, think that Teresa's date with Walter was good, or the kind of quality, or in terms of the vibes that were given on that date in comparison to
Yeah.
Vern's date. I think the vibes were much better between uh, Vern and Walter.
She said that she wanted a man to be able to talk to her because in the past she's been having conversations with men and the conversations just run dry and she feels like she is withering on the vine.
Hmm.
So she needs the brother to talk.
He was previously married for 19 years. Now, here's the kicker from my end. The kicker from my end is that she didn't come with a follow-up regarding children.
She has a follow-up question after
Mhm.
that. So
Exactly.
perhaps that's on the editing floor. Who
Hmm.
knows? She said she enjoyed the date.
Hmm.
But her next experience
Was
was
was a second date with Maurice,
yes,
and
and
this time Maurice, I guess, did a little something different, right? He came dressed a little more casually for one,
mhm,
and two, he kind of planned, I guess, a little bit of a picnic in the park for a second date, with Sharice.
mhm. This brother is too cool for the room. He is too laid back.
It seems like Sharice may have a problem with that. In Sharice's confessional, she said that she wants a man who's already established. She doesn't want a man building up at this point in their life, and I think that's reasonable, I guess,
Yeah,
based on where she is.
absolutely.
Um, but at the same time, I'm wondering if she is overly focused on that, and maybe forgetting some other things. Maybe.
Well, at that stage in her life, she has to be focused on that. I
Yeah, I
don't
know.
think
I know.
she's overly focused on it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I just think that she's been out there, she's done it, been a helper and what have you, but right now she's in a place where she can have nice things and she wants a man who can do that for her as well.
She wants an established man.
Yes,
Okay.
nothing wrong with that. Particularly at her age, she now knows what she wants.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
I give her props for
Mm-hmm.
that. Ashley having a conversation with Zadia about her date with Kristen because, as you know, both of them went out with him.
Yeah, and I don't think that there was any um, overly competitive vibes coming from either one of them. Based on the fact that they both went out with the same man. I think it was, very, very cordial between the two of them, and realistic and non-confrontational, which is good.
Well, Ashley
They kept it in
confessed
perspective.
that in the past she would have had some jealous vibes, but that's not the situation she's in right now. She's cool with them dating the same man to find out whether he's a suitable match.
Not the venue for her to get tooed about things and kind of go south on another one of her housemates. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So now we have the rematch between Zadia and Charisse.
Oh yeah, who won the
Yeah,
first one?
Charisse won the first one.
I agree.
So Charisse comes through and Zadia tells her she wants to talk to her. She wants to get under a good foot. So she wants to apologize for, as Charisse said, waking her up. But she thinks that, Charisse should apologize for exposing that she was out of the house and she lied about it
To Tamika.
to Tamika.
When Tamika asked her directly if she stayed
And
in
she
the house.
said no. And then Zadia went into this thing about Sharice doubling down and she should apologize and that's why she can't trust her and she's a snake and I didn't understand what was happening. Zadia was trying to manipulate Sharice
The course of the
so that
conversation.
she would apologize for one exposing that she was out of the house and two that she lied about being with Cameron.
But here's the problem with Zadia's stance if that's what she was thinking. It doesn't line up with the truth. She was not considering her other housemates at the time that she decided she was going to go out and have a little night out on town with Cameron. They're all grown folks. Why the hell does she feel like she has to lie about something like that when it's obvious that she wasn't there? Why Zadia would have any issue with Sharice when Sharice told the truth about what had happened. Zadia got caught lying, and so she's mad at Sharice for exposing the lie and telling her business.
Cherise said, "You can't tell me what to do, of course, and I don't want to continue this conversation with you because it's going nowhere." But Zadia insists on continuing a conversation that was just totally wrapped in BS
She didn't.
when she did not
She
owe
didn't owe
her
one.
an apology.
Right. Zadia wanted to feel like she was entitled to something that she wasn't from somebody else.
Exactly. Ashley, Zadia, Cameron, and Donald went bowling,
Double date.
a double date. And Ashley complained she has not heard from him since 11:40. I'm not sure whether it was AM or PM.
If I had a water bottle right now, I'd pass it to Ashley with the quickness. Here, you need a shot of this because you thirsty.
And when he came in,
It felt like an interrogation from
we
my end.
she started asking him like, "Where you been? We usually talk."
I would not have harped on that like she did. She belabored the point with that, and then when he shows her the receipts, i.e., the Texas that
Text
he
that he
sent,
sent her.
she said, "Well,
She
I
did
didn't get
said,
it."
well, she didn't get it, but you should have called. You should have tried to stay in contact. At some point, I don't know how people do it, but in the dating process, you gotta give people room.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
and
that be healthy to give someone room?
I would think so, but not in this case. She's smothering the brother and damn near suffocating him. You know what I'm saying?
And I think it reminded her or triggered some negative stuff that she has experienced in the past.
What does that got to do with Donald?
And all of a sudden, it became a trust situation for her.
Yeah, but what does that got to do with Donald?
It doesn't. It's she's dealing with ghosts of the
You
past.
mean baggage?
Yeah, yeah. And the reason I say ghosts is because they keep reappearing in your head over and over.
Okay, I go with that.
So,
Or bags that she refused to set down when she walks in the door, huh?
right.
She carries them with her everywhere, huh?
Donald said, "Well, I could have called. If he didn't call and he's showing you evidence that he sent you some text, okay, well, there was a mix up, but it's not something to go to war for."
I think she overemphasized.
Because of the structure of this dating situation, I think she was trying to hold it over his head.
Yeah,
That's
clearly,
what I think.
clearly.
Because she could always dismiss him at any point. It wasn't a good look for her.
The other half of that double date was Cameron and Ashley, and it seemed like they were, you know, pleased to see one another again for a second time, and it was just something where it seemed like to me Cameron was, really happy to kind of reconnect with Zadia.
All right.
You
Now I
don't
have
think
a
so?
question. Do you think that was the first time Zadie and Cameron laid eyes
Oh,
on
hell no.
than the last time?
Hell no.
Oh, so this was just for TV now.
Exactly. It was
Okay.
performative. Mm, mm, mm.
Because clearly she put something on camera and that, he gritting and skinning a little hard, cheesing a little hard. So
So,
allegedly,
so the
she could
alleged
have,
flashbacks that you allegedly think he's having was kicking in right about then.
yeah, the brother was on luck. Jabari
Second
shows up
date.
and he has a date with Vern. Vern told him about her date and he didn't seem too thrilled but made a joke about it nonetheless. And she tries to convince us and herself that she is not committed to him just yet, but everything they do, it seemed like that's what she's doing.
Again,
This dude is not for her. She starts telling him what her expectations are and what she wants in a person that she will be checking for going forward.
right,
That he couldn't bring an entrepreneur money into the house.
right. He's feeling inadequate because somewhere in his mindset, he thinks that Bernicia deserves that for one, and two, he's not there at that point right now. So I think that he may understand what she's saying, but the reality of it is, and he admitted to it, that he's not at that point yet.
What do you think Vern is gonna should be doing at this point, at
What
this juncture?
what she should do and gonna do is maybe two different things, but maybe she should be concerned by his response, but maybe delve into the process a little bit more and find out, a little bit more information before making a decision.
Tamika shows up and she's there to find out who the ladies are gonna stay with and who they're gonna kick to the curb. And what did the ladies tell Tamika?
Well, Ashley said that she had a romantic spark experience with Kirsten.
Hmm.
Zadia said that she had a great date with, or a good date with Kirsten as well, but I didn't think that it was quite what.
Cameron is offering.
Yeah. Teresa really liked her date with Walter, but she's also got, you know,
Maurice.
Maurice to kind of deal with. Vern went out with, for a first date, went out with Walter and said he's a man's man. Yeah.
Hmm.
But she's got to deal with your boy Jabbar. Mm.
Vern meeting with Jabari and she told him she's keeping him around, so therefore Walter will be going home. Zadia meeting with Cameron, and Cameron, of course, she wants to keep. And Charisse met with Maurice, and she told Maurice that she likes how he communicates, which is a full blown lie.
Tapping.
Yeah. She said in her confessional, Maurice needs to put a couple of words together to make sentences so she can feel better about herself.
But yet she still likes
But
his
yet she
style of
said she
communication.
likes his style of communication. make it make sense. Ashley, when she met with Donald, she started tearing up because she wants to be with Kristen and Donald at the same time. And she said she feels emotional because of the upset she had with Donald about not contacting her for 2 days. And she has some negative feelings towards that. So that decision as to who went home, we do not know because the show ended. Do you have any last words?
They're trying to create a faux sense of drama, I guess, heading into the next
That's
episode.
what they're doing.
And I don't really give a damn one way or another if Ashley, who Ashley chooses. I really don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I
but I
think
guess they think I do.
I think a lot of people feel like that.
Mhm.